Crypto. Home. Take me home.
James Gunn says David Corenswet is going to totally blow everyone away as Superman, and that people are going to fall head over heels for Rachel Brosnahan. Gunn's teasing his upcoming Superman movie, and it looks like David's got something amazing in store. At New York Comic-Con, Gunn told the crowd this: "The movie is going extraordinarily well. We're deep in the process of editing. David Corenswet is going to blow people the fuck away." He went on to say that he is the movie star that everyone just dreams he could possibly be, and I don't think anyone really understands the depth of this guy's talent. Dramatically, comedically, he's the best physical action star I've probably ever worked with. He's an amazing actor, and Rachel Brosnahan, people are going to die for her as well. Corenswet opened up about getting ready for the role, saying, "I was looking for any excuse to bulk up for Superman. I thought 210 pounds would be perfect, but I ended up hitting 238. I wasn't 238 when we started shooting, that was my max." He also shared that the fast weight gain didn't sit well with him. "It didn't feel great. I gained it so quickly that my body just couldn't adjust to the extra weight," he explained. Gunn recently gave some insight into the film and the wider DC universe, saying, "Everything's going to be totally different. What I love about DC Comics is how they can tell different stories in different ways. We've got something serious like Superman, and then something comedic like Peacemaker, all in the same universe. Or something very adult like Peacemaker, and something family-friendly like Superman," he added. Gunn also cleared up a little inconsistency regarding Rick Flag Sr.'s changing hair color in Creature Commandos and Superman's upcoming movie. This came after Frank Grillo, who plays Rick Flag Sr., compared his experiences in both the MCU and DCU. Gunn addressed the hair color issue in an interview with Collider, explaining, "Because that mother effer Frank Grillo was shooting Tulsa King while we were filming Peacemaker. We were originally going to go with the white hair. He was going to dye it white, but then I saw someone ask, 'What about temporary hair dye? Haven't you heard of it?' And I'm like, 'Yeah, I've heard of it, and it looks like shit. It looks awful when you try to put fake gray on someone's very dark hair.'" When asked if Rick Flag Sr.'s hair could be white or black, Gunn said it could go either way. However, he added that Rick Flag Sr. is an incredibly vain man, easily swayed by women and his ego, so Gunn believes the guy dyes his hair. He wrapped up by saying, "I think Season 2 of Peacemaker will have a dyed beard and dyed hair, which is Rick Flag." In the same interview, Gunn shared that Creature Commandos at its core is really a tragedy, adding, "We can't keep ourselves too safe from the sadness. If we're going to go overboard with the violence and the sex, we have to really be willing to embrace the tragic nature of it." Shifting the focus to Superman, Gunn reflected on how Christopher Reeve's portrayal of the Man of Steel influenced his own take on the character. He pondered, "How do you take this outrageous concept of a guy who flies around and make it real?" He then clarified, "I think what we're doing is different. It's its own thing. But I'm definitely influenced by what Richard Donner did with Superman and what Christopher Reeve did, along with Margot Kidder, who's fantastic in the movie. She's really the heart of it in a lot of ways." Now enough about what the cast has said, let's talk about what they've shown us. DC and Warner Brothers dropped the first trailer for Superman this morning, and it's awesome. James Gunn seems to be steering the DC universe in a fresh, exciting direction with this first film under the new DCU banner. From the trailer, it looks like the casting is spot on. Corenswet is perfect as a younger, less chiseled, and more approachable Superman. Cavill was great, but he, and everyone else in the Snyderverse, was weighed down by Zack Snyder's darker approach. I first noticed Corenswet in Netflix's The Politician in 2019. From the moment he appeared on screen, I thought, this guy should be the next Superman. The cherry on top was realizing he not only had the looks, but also the acting chops to carry the DCU's movies and shows as Superman. Then in 2020, I saw him in Hollywood, his first leading role, and that was enough to solidify him as my top pick for Superman. I also think Corenswet's Superman suit is fantastic. I wanted DC to break away from the usual hero look, and to do that, the Man of Steel needed a radical change. One of the biggest aspects that needed updating was the suit. The DCEU gave Cavill a cool costume, but it lacked color. While that worked for Snyder's darker vision of Superman, I wanted something totally different for the DCU. and I got exactly what I wanted. One of my main requests for the new suit was to bring back the iconic red trunks. I get why some people might think they're outdated or goofy, but to me, the red trunks are a key part of Superman's visual identity. Having them on Corenswet's suit signals that DC is embracing a more classic approach, and I'm really happy they're part of his final look. Not forgetting that Rachel Brosnahan looks good as Lois Lane. I love Amy Adams, but Rachel just seems to fit the role better. Nicholas Hoult, who totally won me over in The Great, should absolutely crush it as Lex Luthor, the big boss of LexCorp. Oops, I mean Luthor Corps. And Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner haircut? It's unforgettable. I like the brief moments between Lois Lane and Superman Clark Kent. Looks like she'll figure out he's Superman in this movie, and we'll get some romance, maybe even a kiss in midair. And of course, Krypto the Superdog definitely steals the spotlight. The line, "Take me home, Krypto," is spot on and will probably be the marketing highlight. Even the trailer's haters will probably agree. And honestly, I love seeing Superman saving people. There's a strong vibe of hope, kindness, and compassion in the trailer, even if it's just a teaser and doesn't reveal much. That little moment with the boy whispering Superman like it's a prayer while the chaos rages around him is a nice touch. This trailer points to a more genuine Superman movie, less grim, more hopeful and sincere, without diving into the usual James Gunn style of humor. It's a tough balance to strike, but I'm feeling optimistic. That said, it's clear there's still plenty of action, struggle, and violence, so it's probably darker than I was expecting. The soundtrack really gives off those classic John Williams vibes, especially with that cool mix of electric guitar and orchestral music. There are two things in the trailer I'm not too fond of. One has me concerned, while the other is just something I don't like. I'm a bit worried about how many characters we're being introduced to, especially all the super-powered ones. I'm not sure a big ensemble works in the first DC reboot. I'd rather see more focus on Superman and Lex Luthor. But instead, we're getting Guy Gardner, some kaiju, Hawkgirl, and more. And that's without even seeing Supergirl yet, who is confirmed to be in the film. Now, what is even more concerning for me is the cinematography. There are some moments where it looks amazing, but then there are others that are way too oversaturated and look kind of fake, something the DCEU has struggled with in the past. I get that CGI is everywhere these days, but I was hoping for a movie that had more of an old-school feel. I'm happy the movie looks brighter, moving away from the darker tones, but the color grading and special effects just feel like a bit too much. The film hits theaters on July 11th, and we'll definitely see more trailers before then that give us a clearer idea of what this movie's about and how it's going to look. I'm really excited for it, though. Let me know what you think about the trailer and what Gunn has said in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.